All right, y'all, let's talk about affordability in Berea, Kentucky. So, right around the 250,000 mark. You can get a lot in Berea and surrounding areas for $250,000, but there is one thing that buyers and some sellers are not understanding, and it's killing deals and it's wasting money and time left and right. Nobody is talking about it, and so I'm here to break the ice, uncover the truth, whatever. So, in our area, Berea, Kentucky, we are looking at a median sold price of almost $300,000 anymore. So right out of the gate, that $250,000 mark is pretty well below the median sold price around here. When you think about it like that, you're going to think, oh, it's going to be a dump. But that's not necessarily the case. On your $250,000 range homes, you're going to see homes that need a little bit of TLC. I'm not talking about going in and doing like a full flip, remodel, etc. I'm talking about there's going to be certain things that need to be done in order for federal backed loans to be conditionally approved. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you're going to have homes with probably older windows or older doors or, some decks that have some wood that needs replaced, banisters that don't have railings because at whatever time that it was built, it was up to code. And so whenever I'm in situations like that, if I notice something, because I've done over 100 deals over my career, I know these things because I've been there, I've done that, I've experienced it, and I've worked through it. So I know what to look for ahead of time. So if I have a buyer that comes to me and they're approved for $250,000 with a USDA loan, I know that when I'm looking through these listing photos, and I know that while we're out doing the showings, that if there is a exterior window that has peeling or chipped paint around it that is exposing some of the wood, I'm not going to wait for your appraisal to come back and then say, oh, well, I'm going to charge you an extra couple $100 to go back out there after this is fixed. I'm putting it in your contract to say, before the appraiser gets out there, A, B, and C needs to be fixed. So things that you need to look for, again, the peeling and chipped paint around the windows and doors. And even on like the covered porches I've had the plywood ceilings that the paint has been chipped. Just fix it up front. If you're going to a listing appointment and you have a seller that needs some chipped paint and some peeling paint, went over, chip it off and paint it. I've done it hundreds of times. I've got on ladders and I've painted them. I could not tell you how many times. If you have an electrical outlet that does not have a cover on it, they're going to end up requiring one. Go ahead and spend $1, maybe $2 max. Put a cover on it. If you have a window that has a broken pane in it, you need to disclose that. But if you don't know about it and you're walking around, either viewing the house or you're an agent that's walking around looking to list the house, make note of that because that is going to be something that comes back on an inspection and most likely an appraisal. If you have a garage door that, is automatic and the door is not working, say the sensor is bad or whatever, that's a safety hazard. That's going to need to be fixed. If you have, sometimes an appraiser will come back and say, hey, there needs to be a smoke detector in all of the bedrooms. You better believe that your girl keeps smoke detectors in the back of her car just for situations like that. If you have, a porch or a deck or etc. and there's no handrail over however many inches, I'll have to go back and see. You better believe that in the contract, I'm saying it is contingent upon the seller putting a graspable, keyword graspable, handrail up before the appraiser gets out there. I'm protecting my sellers by not wasting their time and telling them, hey, spend a couple $100 on these additional repairs to not only, make the home better and nicer, but it's going to save you time in the long run. And I'm saving my buyers money and time because if there's a seller that's unwilling to fix things or they just don't want to spend the money, there's no reason for you to get this under contract, put your earnest money down, then pay a couple $100 for the appraiser out there to come back and say, well, this needs to be fixed. You, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, you're going to have to go back and pay that appraiser again to come out there. If you've got downspouts that don't have, it's not extended, I think it's 5 feet away from the home, go to Lowe's and spend $15 for a splash block, whatever it's called, because not too long ago, I had an appraiser that said, hey, the downspouts need extended because they're running, water along the baseline of the home that washes away the foundation. instead of accepting the pictures of the downspouts that were extended more than 5 feet away from the home, he charged my buyers $400 to come back out. There's so much misconceptions about the $250,000 price range that it drives me absolutely nuts. And it's one of those things that, like I'm always preaching, if you want to get into the dream home, take your first step, buy the 250 and below home, fix it up over the next 2 years, cash out on it whenever you're ready, and take that equity that you've put into that home, put it into the new home, eliminate your PMI. Just do what you got to do. So that is my rant and tangent of the day. Just because a home is sold at $250,000 does not mean that it's not a good home. It just means that there are extra things that are probably going to need to be done. And that's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean that it's a bad home. It just means that you need to hire a listing agent or a buyer's agent who has enough experience and has done enough deals to know what could possibly kill the deal before going into it. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to cost less than a couple $100 to get it fixed. That way we can get you straight from listing date to closing date.